Xi Jinping is the supreme leader of China. Using terms like president or chairman is really not enough to describe the power which Xi Jinping commands over China. Within the Chinese Communist Party, the man pretty much has the status of a demigod. And so, what Xi Jinping says is taken to be the gospel truth. Whatever he asks for, he receives. Not obeying him and his orders are not really options for the members of the CCP, notwithstanding their seniority within the party. So, when Xi Jinping asks for a sacrifice, he receives one. But the person who has been sacrificed this time opened the Pandora's box. His sacking is a testament to the fact that Xi Jinping is desperate, insecure, scared, and floundering around like a headless chicken. Let me explain how. Hi and welcome. You're watching TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm Siddharth, your host. In this video, I will tell you why Xi Jinping sacked Chen Quanguo as the head of the Xinjiang region. Let's begin. All is not well in China. By China, I mean the Chinese Communist Party. And by the Chinese Communist Party, I mean Xi Jinping. You see, they are all synonymous with each other. So, when Xi Jinping finds himself in a coup, a direct inference which can be drawn is of China being in a hot, steaming broth itself. Now let's get to the point. In Xinjiang, Xi Jinping has given rise to a Frankenstein monster. The genocide against Uighur Muslims is coming back to haunt Jinping and his stooges. International pressure is on the rise, and the United States has put a blanket ban on all imports from Xinjiang. Suddenly, Xi Jinping has realized that his actions are beginning to have detrimental economic consequences for China. China's economy itself is not in a good shape. It is under intense duress. Therefore, it is of extreme importance that Xi Jinping lays off some steam now. To that effect, the Chinese despot has found a perfect scapegoat. He is now laying the blame of all that has happened in Xinjiang in the past 5 years on one man, Chen Quanguo, who was the CCP's chief in Xinjiang since 2016 and under whom the cultural genocide of Uighur Muslims began. Xi Jinping has removed Chen Quanguo as the head of the Xinjiang region and replaced him with Ma Xingrui, who was the governor of Guangdong province since 2017. Chen is slated to receive another unspecified appointment. However, the decision to axe Chen Quanguo as the head of the Xinjiang region came a day after Joe Biden gave his assent to an import ban from Xinjiang. Last year, Chen was among those sanctioned by the USA for human rights abuses against Uighur Muslims. Xinjiang is a source of cotton used in clothing and is a key location for producing polysilicon used in solar panels, seen as crucial in the global shift away from fossil fuels. So, Xi Jinping's incarceration of Uighur Muslims threatens the Chinese economy as the world community steps pressure on the CCP for its abuses. Xi Jinping needed to desperately deflect the blame, and he did so by offering Chen Quanguo as the sacrificial lamb. The genocide against Uyghurs is a brainchild of Xi Jinping himself. He is the man who has orchestrated the forced incarceration of the ethnic minority across Xinjiang. He is the one under whose direction Uyghurs are being used as forced labor. Chen Quanguo, even by the wildest stretch of imagination, was a mere stooge following the orders of his master, Xi Jinping. But guess what Xi Jinping is doing now? He is trying to convince the world that what happened in Xinjiang and what continues to this very day is a one-man job. You see, Xi Jinping faces a grave test next year. He is hoping for a re-selection as China's president. But chatter suggests the Chinese Communist Party is not particularly enthusiastic as an organization to give Jinping what he wants without giving him a tough time first. And then, the Beijing Winter Olympics are looming as well. Xi Jinping has thus resorted to an image makeover effort. He is trying to project himself as the proverbial good boy. To do so, he must ensure he is not held responsible for the anti-Uyghur campaign underway in Xinjiang. By axing Chen Quanguo, the CCP General Secretary aims to do just that. He wants to show the world that he is in fact solving the problem by removing the man responsible for the mess in Xinjiang. Essentially, Xi Jinping takes the world to be a giant ball of foolishness. Unfortunately for him, the democratic world is no longer willing to give China a long leash. His efforts at cleansing himself of all sins by offering sacrificial lambs like Chen Quanguo will not help the man redeem himself. He will have to eventually face the music for his brazen crimes against humanity.